Hello and welcome to the program. I am Deji. Now, the starting gun has been fired in the race for Nigeria's presidential election. Presidential campaigns officially kicked off with incumbent Muhammadu Buhari launching what he calls the next level policy, which is basically his manifesto. His document mainly focuses on improving the economy by focusing on job creation and youth empowerment. The president is proposing to expand the Empower program to reach 1 million Nigerians if he is re-elected. He also plans to empower up to 10 million Nigerians under a voucher system in partnership with the private sector, and also expand the Anchor Borrower Scheme to support input and jobs to 1 million farmers. President Buhari is also proposing to offer sub-loans of up to 1 million naira to each now to small traders, artisans and commercial drivers. Expansion of the trade money scheme to 2.3 million traders, farmers, artisans, and of course the farmer money schemes to 10 million people. He has also promised more youth appointment for boards and specifically pledged 35% in female appointments. On infrastructure, Buhari has pledged to complete several ongoing projects if given a second term. Some of these projects, of course, are the Second Niger Bridge, the Lagos-Ibadan-Kano Rail Line, the Port Harcourt-Maiduguri-Kano Rail Line, among others. On education, he says at least 9 universities will enjoy uninterrupted power in a new power plan. He also promised to remodel 10,000 schools per year and retrain teachers to deliver digital literacy. On the health sector, Buhari says he will ensure a 500 naira monthly contribution. That's a 500 naira monthly contribution now leads to 45% increase in the population covered by the primary health care. By primary health care now by 2023, and it's also offering to pay young doctors better to stay in rural areas. But the president is not the only one who has been unveiling his plans. His main challenger, Atiku Abubakar of the main opposition People's Democratic Party, has also launched what he calls the Atiku's plan. The PDP presidential candidate says he will improve the economy by reviewing the current utilization of all borrowed funds, review the country's debt strategy by focusing on concessional and semi-concessional sources, reduce the share of recurrent revenue in the budget from 70% to 35% by 2025, and streamline the functions of the Sovereign Wealth Fund, Excess Crude Account, and Stabilization Fund. And to combat security challenges, Atiku says he will reactivate registration at birth, conduct the next national population census, and restructure and decentralize security institutions. These are just some of his many plans, which also includes privatization of the NNPC, reconsidering the introduction of the marginal fails bid round, increasing investment in social infrastructure by the federal and state governments, creating a special tribunal for crimes against women, and increasing the number of appointments made to young people in government and in government committees. He also plans to revive national parks now driven by the private sector, restore the conduct of biannual National Festival of Arts and Culture, relocate the Niger Delta Ministry from Abuja to the region, and overhaul the Niger Delta Ministry and NDDC to remove overlaps. And one more thing, he says if elected president, he will restructure the country. Well, that's quite a lot, if you ask me. And let's now discuss these plans to see how realistic they are. Joining me from Abuja is Jide Ojo, who is a columnist. Well, Jide, thank you very much for joining us on the program. I mean, you have seen both documents. I'm talking about a document, or the manifesto, if you like, of President Muhammadu Buhari and that of his main challenger, Atiku Abubakar. Of course, we know they are not the only presidential candidates. We have over 50 of them contesting in the next presidential elections. But of course, we also do know that these two candidates are the front runners. But tell me now what you make of both documents. I haven't seen them.
Well, yeah, we have about 79 candidates, presidential candidates, and the top two, as some people will want to say, are the APC and PDP candidates. That's the incumbent president, as well as his arch rival, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. For me, I've seen the next level document of APC. I've also seen the Making Nigeria Work Again by Atiku Abubakar, which was launched on Monday. It's a welcome development that we are even having an issue-based discussion around some of these documents. At least they are telling us in clear times, in black and white, what they intend to do. And it's very commendable. So it's not a hearsay. It's not like a rumor mill. It's not like somebody claiming that he has said. These are documents that are being archived, that are being filed, that are being documented for posterity. And whoever out of the two, that's presuming that either of the two will win, we can take them up on their promises. Having said that, the two documents are very presumptuous in my own estimation. Presumptuous in the sense that, yes, the next level documents told us what has been achieved and the next level they want to take the country. But we do know that much of what is being promised were also previously promised in 2014, 2015. Take, for instance, the issue of 35% affirmative action, which APC candidate is promising. I've asked time and again, why has it been very difficult for him to honor that electoral promise? Why didn't we see that 35% affirmative action under his administration in the last 3.5 years? The two female candidates that even had cause to resign their appointment, that's Aisha Juma Alazan, as well as the former Minister of Environment. Both of them were replaced by men. Aisha Mohammed, that went to the UN, was replaced by a man. Aisha Juma Alazan was replaced by another man, another female candidate, but was just moved in. So what I'm saying is that why is that if you are promising 35% appointive position in 2019, why is it difficult for you to start from now so that we know that at least you are consolidating on that? Why should that be a next level decision? Then the 15 million jobs they're promising, why haven't we seen those million jobs in the last 3.5 years? Then Atiku is promising an average of 2.5 million jobs every year and 1 million jobs in the petrochemical industry in the next 10 years. Should we have to wait that long? The bottom line, again, with the Making Nigeria Work by Atiku Abubakar, is that it's a 6-year policy document. And some people are already saying, if you are supposed to do one term, as he has claimed he will do one term, why do you have to come up with a policy document for 6 years? Are we not going to have a scenario on our hands like that of former President Goodluck Jonathan, who some people in PDP claimed said he was going to do one term, only to throw his hands in the ring and contested for the second time?
Now, this one-term issue, is this something that we should take seriously and even talk about? Because the fact is that it's not in the Constitution. So it's not as if Atiku would be under any law at all, you know, not to go for a second term if he wins the next election. So is that something we should be talking about?
Well, Deji, we need to audit that. We need a man's word should be his honor. And if he has said that he's going to do one term, recall that it's already 72 years. By the time he finishes, that's if he gets elected next year, it will be like 76, 77. Now, the promise of doing one term is to curry the favor of the southern Nigeria, particularly the southeast. And the assumption is that he actually picked an Igbo vice presidential candidate so that power can devolve, or you could support the emergence of an Igbo presidency in 2023. If then he fails to honor that promise, then the Igbos who are rooting for him may have actually been shortchanged because they are angling for Igbo presidency in 2023. Again, Atiku is promising restructuring. That is also a very welcome development, because one of the things that separates the two candidates is actually that While one wants the maintenance of status quo, the other one is promising to devolve powers, making no pretense about it.
So, for you now, looking at both documents now, what do you think would be the key things that the common man on the street would be looking out for? What would be the key things that, you know, the common man would want to see and then say, look, I think I believe this document and I think it will work for me?
They promise to fix the infrastructural deficit, insecurity, economy, unemployment, poverty, and all of that. I think those are key takeaways. We recall that on Sunday, during the launch of the Next Levels, Fashola, the incumbent Minister of Power, Housing, and Power and Housing, promised that there are 345 roads being fixed currently. Many of them actually inherited from the previous administration. If they can fix those roads, you can see that trade and commerce will improve. And of course, security of lives on the roads will be better. Also, if they are able to fulfill their promises on the issue of insurgency and kidnapping, armed robbery, we will have a better society. And then foreign direct investment will be able to flow in. On like currently what we currently have. Then the issue of anti-corruption. If they are able to fix the anti-corruption issue, I think we also will be able to save a lot of resources which are being wasted and which are being paid for. So there is a lot. And then the employment, the two parties, the two candidates are promising millions of jobs. Atiku is promising jobs in the vocational skill acquisition, ICT, wanted to run digital economy and all of that. The APC candidate is also promising 3 million jobs every year, again, in different sectors of the economy. The bottom line is that if these jobs are actually, if they are able to deliver on these jobs, the common man, the average man, who is bearing every responsibility of dependency ratio, you know, as you possibly will know, that one person working in Nigeria now is catering for about 7-10 other individuals. And that will lessen if they can fix the issue of unemployment. And of course, by the time they fix the unemployment issue, the poverty will reduce considerably. And if poverty reduces considerably, that means we will have a higher standard of living rather than high cost of living that we currently are experiencing.
Now, there's no question at all that both documents are very beautiful. We've had beautiful documents in the past. We're good at coming up with very beautiful documents, but the problem is implementing them. You look at both documents, very fine, quite ambitious to some extent, but do you think these candidates now, if elected, would be able to implement, well, maybe not 100%, but at least implement about 70, well, between 50 to 60% of what they have written down in their documents?
We do hope so. I want to give them benefit of doubt that it's going to be different. It's going to be a largely two-horse race, and they know that failure to deliver on their promises may warrant their electoral defeat in 2023. So each party, each candidate will do all it can to ensure that they deliver on their promises. I agree with you. We've never run short of ideas. We've never been in short supply of electoral campaign promises and documents. It's not the first time we are having nicely packaged documents of this nature. Politicians are generally known to campaign in prose and deliver in poetry. But again, citizen action is needful. We have to hold them to account. There's something called Buhari Meter, which is on the website of Center for the, which is being run by Center for Democracy and Development. And that's a very good initiative, because on that Buhari Meter, you will see 222 campaign promises allegedly made by the incumbent president and his party. Now, the point is, people are asking the right questions. How many of these promises have been delivered on? And that is going to happen in the next dispensation as well. People are going to archive these documents and will be taking, the media and the civil society will be taking them up on why they have not been able to deliver on these promises, and when they do hope, where do they intend to deliver on them. So we are going to, there will be a lot of citizen action, there will be a lot of media action, there will be a lot of roundtables and town hall meetings and media chats where opportunities will be for us to take them up on what they have promised.
Well, you're quite right there. We just wait and see how the implementation would go. As I said, we're very good at coming up with beautiful documents, but implementing them, of course, is a problem. We just wait and see how it all pans out after the elections, of course, and we'll be watching the campaigns as, of course, it begins in the coming days and weeks. We would, of course, be paying attention to the candidates, hear what they'll be telling the electorates, and we see how the electorates actually buy their messages now. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll switch focus. We'll be talking about a controversial constituency project in Abuja. On Deji 360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent. Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action. People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country? I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly. God forbid that I go to join that
Deji 360, providing clarity to issues.